What is up, ladder climbers? It is Antoine Wade from Elevate to the Unknown YouTube channel, as well as blkheights.com. And it is Tuesday morning, September the 2nd at 7 a.m. Central. And the markets are back open after Labor Day. So while y'all was sleeping, corporate America went crazy yesterday, man. Nestle, they fired their CEO for dating his employee. Tesla, they're cutting 82 contractors in Texas, and 300,000 federal workers are getting laid off by Christmas. But here's the intelligence that I want you to know so that it can make you guys some money. This is the reason why we're doing the show. Netflix, they are hiring AI engineers for $720,000 total compensation. Fresh jobs posted overnight, paying up to $290,000, and you only get access to some of those if you're part of the Patreon and you apply and you have those skills. And September hiring surge that everybody expects that's going to happen, because September is the month where a whole bunch of hiring typically goes on. It ain't happening this year because of stall speed. So guys, I got the overnight corporate intelligence that nobody else has. If you guys are tuning in, go ahead and drop your city in the chat, hit that like button, because today I'm going to share with you the intelligence that's going to separate the winners from the losers. So let's see who's all in the house. We got Jay Garcia in the house. Good to see you, man. We got Eleanor in the house. We got NC Realtor in the house. Good to see you all this morning. You know, yesterday when I did the show on Labor Day, I had some good sleep, but I didn't have as good as a sleep as I had last night. And one thing I noticed after watching the video is, guys, I said this yesterday. I said, it is September the 21st. I fast forwarded time. Yesterday was the 1st. I said in my live stream yesterday, September the 21st. Guys, when I say some crazy shit, just correct me, okay? It happens sometimes. My mind is moving a million miles per minute. And sometimes I need the correction. So make sure you guys correct me in the chat. You know, I'm like, don't make you go out there and look stupid, guys. But I appreciate every one of you guys in here today. We got PBO in the house. We got NC Worker in the house. Lynn Eleanor in the house. I appreciate you guys for being here. Miss Wade is even in the house as well, too. But guys, let me show you exactly what happened last night. We're going to show you why people who don't do the right things, they get fired. Last night, CEO of Nestle, his name is Laurent Franks. He got fired. Not for poor performance, not for missing earnings, but for failing to disclose a romantic relationship with a direct subordinate. This is breaking news. I want to show you the video. Let's go to it.
Brian's here with business now. Has he got good news or not? It's starting with the CEO of the Swiss food giant Nestle, been fired over a romantic relationship with a colleague.
Not good news for him, you would imagine, Stuart. Nestle CEO Laurent Franks abruptly removed from his post after just a year on the job following an investigation into an undisclosed romantic entanglement with a direct subordinate, the company calling his conduct contrary to company values. It's the latest dismissal in a growing list of firms parting ways with their CEOs after investigations into workplace relationships. Charlotte Lamb takes a closer look.
After just 1 year in the job, Nestle fires Chief Executive Laurent Franks for failing to disclose a romantic relationship with what it's calling a direct subordinate. A company veteran, Franks joined Nestle in France in 1986. He ran the firm's European operations until 2014 and then headed the Latin American division before his promotion to CEO. The Financial Times earlier this year reported concerns about the director's relationship with an employee, prompting an internal investigation. The Swiss food and drink giant says the undisclosed relationship goes against company values, calling the dismissal a necessary decision. Nestle isn't the only company forced into an embarrassing leadership shakeup.
You heard it. This man made it 1 year as a CEO of the world's largest food company. 1 freaking year. And he threw him out because he didn't tell the board he was dating someone who worked for him. How many times have this happened already this year? What's up with all these executives, ladies and men, who do not have genital discipline? They don't have genital discipline and they are messing up their money. Y'all remember a couple months ago when we covered the astronomer CEO, Andy Byron. You guys don't remember?
Most recently,
You
data
remember
company
him.
Astronomer's
Check him
CEO resigned after a Coldplay concert Kiss Cam appeared
out. That's Andy Byron. That's Andy
to catch
Byron.
him canoodling.
You guys remember Andy Byron? Let me give you another photo of him. Check him out. Same exact pattern. Both CEOs, both relationships with executives that work for him, both fired within days. Byron, he got caught on live TV at Gillette Stadium. Freaks, he got caught by the board of Nestle. Different scandals, same outcome, same lesson. So, a lot of the times we think that this sort of stuff doesn't happen in corporate America. It happens all the time. And we're seeing it often, more and more. And what is up with these CEOs and these other executive women in these corporations? One of the things that you guys have to understand is this. Corporate, it has 0 tolerance for undisclosed executive relationships. And it's going to get harder and harder and harder for those relationships to even occur. What used to get handled quietly now gets you fired publicly. The astronomer case, it showed us this trend. In Nestle, it proves that it's spreading to every single industry. Your personal life ain't personal when you're making CEO type of money. When you are the boss, when you are making big money, don't mess that up either. No reason for it. I mean, now this man then worked his way all the way up in Nestle, was there for many years, led Europe, led South America, part of the supply chain organization. I went and looked them up. Supply chain is a place where you can fast track your way to the CEO. That's where he did. That's where he did it. Now, he spent many years there, but then he wants to have a relationship with somebody who reports into him. Messes his money up. Now he's out. After 1 year, could not keep his genitals disciplined. In corporate, every relationship gets looked at now. Every decision gets questioned. Byron learned this the hard way himself. Now Freaks, he's learning it as well too. You would already have thought that he already knew that this wasn't the wise decision. And that's not what he said. He said he got to have some of that young lady or whoever it was that he was dating. They didn't call her name out. But here's what both these CEO firings teach you about corporate positioning. Companies, they value governance. They value risk management over individual talent. You can be as talented as you can be, but if you are going to cause the company to lose money by having scandals and doing stupid stuff and killing the image and the brand, they're done with you. They'd rather fire a successful CEO than risk a scandal hurting their brand. No different than a sports team, no different than a sports franchise. They will get rid of a player if he is the MVP, if he does something stupid. That's why compliance roles in corporate America, if you think about it, they continue to grow. They keep growing. HR departments keep getting bigger budgets. I mean, you think about it with AI now, you would think the HR departments would get smaller. No, they continue to get bigger because here's the thing. Compliance is very, very important. Making sure that people aren't having those relationships. They get around each other. Next thing you know, men and women, they start to act crazy. Corporate governance specialists once wasn't a high paid job. Now it is. They pay corporate governance specialists 6 figures and more. Companies need people who can prevent these situations from happening. And when it does happen, clean it up, get rid of it fast. But notice what both of these companies did. The CEO of Astronomer, Andy Byron, gone. Right? They had a interim CEO, Pete DeJoy. He was ready to become the interim CEO of Astronomer. Nestle, they made the decision to bring in Philip, this gentleman by the name of Philip Navarrete. That's his name. Philip Navarrete. They brought him in the same day to be the CEO. So both companies basically prepared for leadership changes before they needed them. That is what you call strategic succession planning. They knew executive scandals were possible, so they built a backup system. Or they knew that executive deaths happened, so they built a backup system. This is what corporations do. But not only that, this is for you in your personal business or your personal life to get that figured out. Have genital discipline. It's important. Otherwise, you're going to mess the money up for you and your family. Now, let me show you guys what's happening at Tesla. While all you guys were sitting at barbecues yesterday, turning up, drinking your wine and you're smoking your cigars, this is the pattern that you need to watch out for. Tesla, they terminated cleaning services contracts at their Tesla factory. 82 workers gone on Labor Day. No warning. Contract just ended. Now, most people are going to say, Antoine, that's just contractors. These are just contractors, Antoine. But y'all watch this. This is a pattern. Tesla always starts with contractors before they cut direct employees. So this is an early warning system. Early warning signal. Remember back in 2024? Tesla, they laid off contractors first. Then they cut 10% of their direct workforce 6 months later. Here's a video showing exactly what they did.
A Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification Act letter was sent over to the City of Austin and Texas Workforce Commission on Monday, addressing the mass layoff days after employees were notified by Tesla.
They gave me an entire, 3-paragraph condolence letter about me being laid off, giving me a PDF about WARN, and I looked into it. Apparently, they were supposed to warn me about unemployment.
The WARN Act is a U.S. labor law that requires companies with 100 or more employees to notify 60 days ahead of planned closings or a mass layoff.
Just out of the blue, they laid me off.
Employees were told last week via email their last working day was Sunday, April 14th.
At 2.
That's what Tesla did. First, they laid off contractors. Then they went and laid off a good portion of their workers. But here's what creates opportunity for you. Companies cutting contractors, they still need the work done. They just need cheaper ways to do it. And that's where AI implementation specialists come in. So instead of hiring 10 contractors, they hire 2 people who can use AI tools to do the same work. Those 2 people make more money than the 10 contractors they replaced. This is what's happening in the corporate world these days. If you guys are seeing this, put a 1 in the chat. If you guys are going to get on board to be one of those AI workers who's taking those contractor jobs, put a 2 in the chat. And it's not doing it to be malicious, it's not doing it to take people's jobs and kill people's livelihoods. You're just competing in the market. That's basically what you're doing here. Now, let me show you the biggest job cut that nobody's talking about. This is the big one. 300,000 federal workers are going to be getting laid off by Christmas. That's bigger than the entire population of Pittsburgh, guys. I've never been to Pittsburgh, but I did do some research on the size of the city, and it's bigger than the entire population of Pittsburgh. Now, surrounding areas, we're not talking about that. But this is the largest single decline in federal workers since supposedly World War II. The Department of Health and Human Services cutting 20,000 positions, they say. IRS already lost 25,000 employees. Department of State eliminated 1,300 workers. Department of Education cut 1,300 people. This is what's going to be happening. We're talking about the September hiring surge, and we'll get to that a little bit later in the show. But that doesn't seem to be happening this year, guys. It's about to get rough. It's really about to get rough. But here's the piece that I want you guys to think about, because even though it's about to get rough, there's a whole bunch of opportunities out here. The federal government, they still awarded $183 billion in small business contracts last year. That's record-breaking numbers. 28.8% of all federal dollars went to small businesses. You have my man, Santos, 1965, said, "Preach, I have a small business. I've been married for 35 years, morality and discipline." My man Santos cuts my hair, right? Small businesses are making the money. Small businesses have gotten 28.8% of the government contracts. Of all those federal dollars, small businesses are getting a whole bunch of it. So here's the opportunity. When they cut 300,000 government workers, they still need the work to be done. That work gets contracted out to private companies, companies that need people with security clearances and government experience. These 300,000 federal workers ain't just disappearing. They got security clearances. They understand the government process. They know how the federal systems work. Private companies are going to pay a premium to hire that expertise. You have companies like Microsoft right now looking for people with federal clearances. Some of these people are going to win. Some people are not. You got defense contractors, IT service companies, consulting firms. All these businesses need people who can navigate government bureaucracy. Former federal workers are gold to these companies. So if you are a federal worker scared about losing your job because of these cuts potentially happening, look at companies like General Dynamics, Raytheon. There are plenty others that are out there that do IT service, defense contractors, consulting firms. Look at these companies. If you need a list of these companies, join my Patreon. I can create a list of these companies that you can be looking at, where your services and your skills would transfer very, very easy. Former federal workers are gold to these types of companies. If you're working in the United States government or know someone who is today, have them start building relationships with federal contractors and start doing it now. Don't wait until you get laid off. You don't want to be like the gentleman who we talked about on yesterday, Trevor, who waited all the way up until he got laid off, couldn't find another job, had to move back from LA to Ohio, move in with his mom to work at a bank making $43,000 a year. You want to position yourself while you still got leverage right now. There's companies like Deloitte, companies like Accenture, companies like Booz Allen Hamilton. All these firms hire government workers at way higher salaries than what they made in federal jobs. You got a security clearance? That's worth $20,000 to $30,000 extra per year in the private sector. Guaranteed. Talk to any recruiter. Any recruiters if you're in here and you're talking about security clearances and you know about security clearances, put it in the chat. How much money does having a security clearance earn you at a private company than in the federal government? Tens of thousands of dollars. Here's the thing. Companies are going to pay premium because they know getting a new clearance, it takes months or sometimes even years. So if somebody already has it, they're going to pay those individuals the money right away. Now, while 300,000 federal workers are about to get laid off, let me show you the companies that's paying $720,000 for AI workers, because there's a whole bunch of them. We've been talking about AI for a long time. Netflix, your favorite streaming service. They're hiring machine learning engineers for up to $720,000 total compensation. That's base salary, that's stock, that's bonus. That's it all. And for people who can build AI systems that can help you or help recommend what to watch to you, because you already know Netflix does that. I'm watching the Cowboys show that just was released on Netflix about the Dallas Cowboys. It was the name of it is America's Team or something along those lines. And it's about Jerry Jones and him telling the story with them winning the Super Bowls back in the late 80s, early 90s. Great show. I don't watch Netflix a lot, but this is a show that I watch before I go to bed with my wife. And the cool thing about Netflix is that if you watch a show like that, it's going to recommend other shows that are very similar. So I have other ones that's popping up that I potentially want to watch with some future date. That's what they are paying people for. They're paying people who can build AI systems that recommend what you watch. But here's what's beautiful about these jobs. You don't need a PhD from Stanford. Netflix just wants you to have Java, Python, and Scala experience. You have to have an understanding of machine learning development. You have to have a good understanding of low latency and API design. These are practical skills that you can learn if you're in this technical field. Okay? These are practical skills that you already probably have if you're in this technical field. But here's the piece of it that I want you to understand. Okay? You may have kids watching, you may be a parent or whatever it is. Encourage your kids to get into some parts of technology. Balance, business and technologies is the best place to be. Or encourage them to lean heavy into some sort of STEM, along with mathematics, messing around with data. Because I also ran a report last night in fresh AI jobs that was posted while we all were sleeping. A company called Retail AI posted a senior software engineer position paying in $215,000 to $290,000 plus equity. They are building AI voice automation and need people with React and TypeScript experience. Meta, they posted a AI research scientist position paying them from $177,000 to $251,000 base salary. That's just the base. You already know what people are being paid going to Meta. We did a story on our brother Arun, who left Amazon to go to Meta, making over $400,000 a year with stock, compensation, total package. You can make way higher than $251,000 if you have these level of skills. Way higher. Let me show you what Walmart's doing with AI and why it creates thousands of jobs, because many people are going to be like, Antoine, you know what? AI is taking over everything. And yes, it is helping and it is, eliminating jobs, but it also is creating jobs as well too. But Walmart, they are investing in AI. I'm going to play a video for you all.
Walmart is deepening its push into AI unveiling 4 new super agents on Thursday, aiming to improve the shopping experience and better compete with rival retailers. Powered by agentic AI, which needs minimal human intervention, the super agents will serve as primary entry points for every AI interaction with Walmart shoppers, store employees, suppliers and sellers, and software developers. The new agents will replace several existing AI tools, and the retailer hopes they'll attract more shoppers away from Amazon, which has its own range of AI-powered tools. One of Walmart's agents, Sparky, is already available on its app as a Gen AI-powered tool, where it currently assists customers with product suggestions, such as athletic wear or the right ink for a printer. In its super agent form, Walmart says Sparky will be able to plan themed parties and offer product recipes by looking at the contents of a shopper's fridge through its computer vision.
Walmart, they just hopped on the AI bandwagon. This is huge for career opportunities because when Walmart adopts AI, it creates thousands of implementation jobs across America. You think about it, Walmart has 10,500 stores, 2.1 million employees. When they implement AI, they need specialists in every region to help stores actually use the technology. They need store optimization specialists, inventory management coordinators, so supply chain. Guys, if you haven't considered supply chain, go and watch some of the videos on my channel about supply chain careers. They also need customer service trainers, supply chain implementation experts. These are all domestic jobs paying $75,000 to $125,000 a year. According to LinkedIn, guess what AI does? I saw an article on LinkedIn yesterday. The article says that AI beats human recruiters at hiring. Companies using AI find people who can work with AI. The irony is beautiful because it creates massive opportunities for those of us who are actually using the tool. If AI can beat human recruiters at finding AI talent, that means demand is so high, companies using any method that they're using right now, they're using it to find workers. So they're using AI to do it. Remember what I keep telling you all about the gap between what companies buy and what they can implement. Companies are buying a whole bunch of stuff right now, especially from the infrastructure side of this whole AI boom we're in, and just the start of it. But there's a huge gap between what they buy and what they can implement. The study says that if a corporation gives their employees AI, only 51% is using it. So you have a whole nother 50%, just about 49%, that's not using it. And Walmart just proved that this gap is worth millions of dollars. So them buying AI tools for 10,500 stores, they're going to need people who can teach store managers how to use it. They're going to need people who can train customer service teams. They're going to need people who can help with inventory optimization. These are all new jobs that's going to be created. I went and did some research on the roles that Walmart's going to be hiring for. Big money salaries, guys. Head of data science, remote position, $198,000 to $278,000 per year. The job is to basically lead teams and translate business problems into AI solutions. Adversarial AI engineers in San Francisco, $181,000 to $271,000. Job is just to understand AI security and protect systems for attacks. These are all the jobs, and you're going to people who are in AI. But here's the thing. My brother Santos is in here. right? The winners right now are the people who can offer some sort of services, business owners. They're winning, okay? Plumbers, HVACs, electricians, all of these individuals are winning. The people who aren't winning, mid-level managers, white collar, people who are doing jobs that computers can do now. The people who are winning on the other side of that are the people who are dabbling into AI and learning about AI, learning about machine learning, statistics. Think about what that looks like, right? You got winners, losers, winners. Which side are you going to be on? That's the economy that we're in right now. That's the economy. That's what it's looking like. It's the truth. If you are in the middle somewhere where jobs are being taken in the field that you are in, doesn't matter, right? If automation is coming for some of the roles that you potentially want or you're currently in, figure it out. Figure it out fast. Leverage AI. Here's a piece that nobody's talking about. September is a month where there is typically a surge in hiring. Yesterday, we talked about how there was a new term that they called stall speed. Stall speed is basically when you have companies slowing down hiring, and ultimately what they do is they lay people off, and that stops people from buying, and that causes businesses to stop hiring and causing more layoffs, right? It's a repetitive cycle. It's a condition in the economy. It's called stall speed. And they're saying that it potentially could push unemployment up from 4.2% to 6%. Just imagine if the unemployment rate went from 4.2% to 6%. We have so many layoff videos that's going viral across TikTok and across YouTube and across Instagram. If it went to 6%, you know how many more videos there's going to be? So I have content for days, years, months. But that's bad. If it goes to 6%, people are really suffering. You're talking about we are headed towards a recession if we're not already in one. But think about it. Every single September, it typically is the biggest hiring month. Companies finish the summer slowdown. They're preparing for Q4. They've understood or trying to understand exactly what they spent for the first half of the year. So they're looking for budget clarity. Traditionally, September is the month where there is a hiring surge. They're saying it's not happening this year. Economists are warning about stall speed. It's the vicious cycle making unemployment worse. Let me show you what could potentially happen when stall speed happens. Here's what's happening around the federal government and the federal government workers.
Those people, they rallied here for about an hour and a half this afternoon. They are, as you mentioned, protesting these job cuts. Now, they marched here to this federal building this afternoon, and they say that federal jobs are important. Many do acknowledge that there are places to trim in the federal government, but they say indiscriminate cuts will fuel inefficiency. One woman who lost her job in the Office of Fair Housing and Equal Opportunity on Friday says she worries about the fallout.
Federal employees are the lifeblood of this nation. We are the engine that drives us forward. When you terminate federal employees, that's just the beginning. We're going to see years of turmoil because of this.
Now,
stall speed, it can destroy the September surge. People get nervous about jobs, so they spend less. Companies see less spending, so they lay off more people. Those people spend even less. The cycle feeds itself until unemployment spikes. July, you remember the jobs report, only added 73,000 jobs in the U.S. That's terrible. May and June, they got revised down by 258,000 jobs. The Bureau of Labor Statistics chief was fired by Trump because of the jobs report and the revision. The economy added 258 fewer jobs than originally reported. When economists are predicting that unemployment is going to jump from 4.2% to 6% and stays there for a year, that's what stall speed looks like. It looks like a whole bunch of people protesting on the streets. It looks like a whole bunch of people saying why their jobs are important. It's like a whole bunch of people collecting unemployment. Looks like a whole bunch of people losing their houses, losing their livelihoods. So the traditional September hiring surge, it gets replaced by September stagnation. But we all know that we aren't on here to talk about the doom and gloom. There's an opportunity amongst all this chaos that could potentially happen. Small business, AI adoption, that can surge up to 68%. You got to think about it, right? When all this chaos is going on, people are going to be looking for ways that they can improve their efficiency. So you think about small businesses and middle-sized businesses, they're going to be looking for ways that they can cut expenses because they're going to look for cost savings as well so that they can survive. The adoption of technology like AI is surging in small businesses and middle-sized businesses, up 51% from 2 years ago. Those businesses need implementation help. 80% of small businesses using AI say it enhances their workforce, not replaces it. I'll tell you like this. I'm a small business, guys. This channel was a small business. I had a team of 5. Now I'm a team of 3. I'm a team of 3 because AI no longer I no longer need a script writer anymore. I no longer need a researcher anymore because I have tools that can do the research for me and I can do it myself. I no longer need a short video creator for content because now I can do it myself with AI tools. So it replaces it. Now, these corporations aren't going to tell you that AI tools and AI is replacing jobs, but it is. But it also is increasing productivity. It also is creating new jobs. But when we go back to small businesses and some of these middle-sized businesses, many of these tools that they're implementing because they want to get ahead, they don't know how to use it. So if you think about me as a small business who had a team of 5, and I'm, pretty technology savvy. Think about some of the other businesses who have teams of 10, 15, 20, 50 people. They're thinking about AI because we're talking about it and it's all over the news. They're thinking and they're fearful of it. But they also, as a CEO, they're also looking at what is it that I can do to increase efficiency so I can grow my business. So that's your opportunity, guys. That's your opportunity to help them implement it, to have conversations with them, to say, Mr. John, right? I know you have somebody who's typing in a bunch of these invoices and you do it every single day and it's causing you to be late to your suppliers. So your relationships with them are not that good. Mr. John, this is what we can do. We can have your suppliers email you these invoices to your inbox. The computer is going to ingest that so that nobody else needs to type it out. So that person, Jennifer and Manuel and Duke, who are manually entering these invoices into the system, and you're paying them $15 an hour, $20 an hour, $25 an hour, they can do meaningful work. They can potentially go out in your sales force to help you earn an additional business, or they can work with your suppliers to have a better relationship with them. Now, Manuel, you know, the Mr. John, the CEO, is probably going to say, you know what, Duke, he's been half-assing it anyway. Having an attitude. Maybe I don't need Duke. So John eliminates Duke, right? Just AI can do his job now, and Duke's he's just a problem. So he gets rid of Duke, right? So he saves $20 per hour times 40 hours a week, right? $800, right? So that's $800 every week. That's $3,200 a month times 12. He's saving a significant amount of money. Now he can invest that into training for other individuals, but also putting that towards other people that he can bring on to grow his business, sales, and so forth. That's why I also say, consider being close to the revenue. This is where the money is. Close to the revenue, close to the implementation, close to the customer. There is a massive AI infrastructure boom that's going on right now as well. I'm going to show you where many of the real jobs are. Many of the real jobs are into the construction of data centers. Let's take a look at this video. This is a time lapse of a data center being built. Look how many people are working to build this data center. Crews, trucks, technicians, HVAC, equipment drivers, electrical. These are all people with jobs. These are all people making a whole bunch of money. These are all people who's getting to the money. A company called Applied Digital, they're breaking ground on $3 billion, a $3 billion AI facility in North Dakota. Oracle, their Stargate project in Texas, they're spending billions of dollars on it. Amazon, they're dropping $5.7 billion on data centers. The construction industry needs 439,000 workers in 2025. HVAC technicians making 150,000 with no student debt. Electricians in constant demand, all domestic, all here in the U.S. These jobs can't be outsourced. They can't be outsourced. Now, I got to say, I'm in tech, so, I'm in the AI field. And I encourage people to go towards AI, or if you're in tech, you should be using it. But while everyone is looking at AI and coding jobs and infrastructure, the building of the infrastructure pays more with less competition. Data centers, they need cooling systems, semiconductor plants. They need power. All these facilities need skilled trades. I came across a video about how Gen Z is literally starting to make the shift into the trades. That's where the money is. It is a fact that America is built on small businesses. The majority of millionaires in the United States have some sort of small business. The majority of millionaires, I'm saying. The ones who are making $400,000, $500,000 a year, even less than that. They are small businesses. And when you are a skilled tradesman, you can create your own business, your small business. The opportunity that exists right now in the United States are baby boomers who's retiring who understood the trades, built their business, making $1 million plus a year, hire crews. Now they have access to this AI boom. They're making even more money. But dad or mom, they're retiring. They're done. So they're putting their business, or they're selling it, or they're just throwing it away, dissolving it. That's the opportunity as well, too, for a lot of people. You can buy these businesses. You can help run them. You can take those skilled tradesmen and put them towards the AI boom. This is what you can do. These are where the opportunities are. I want to share that with you all because the trades, they're booming right now. If I had a chance to do it all over again in this sort of a market, this is where I would be focusing on. I would be focusing on eliminating college debt. I would be focusing on building a skill that will last me for the rest of my life. That's what I will focus on. I know a whole bunch of people may not agree with this. I'm going to send my baby to college. I'm going to go to college. Yes, college is great. But we also see that it is somewhat of a waste of time for certain types of degrees. Not all, but certain types. Before we wrap up this show today, I want to make sure that we talk about the opportunities that exist and how you can win during this week. Because, we talked about a whole bunch. There are stall speeds that you're going to see in the news, and you're going to learn what this term is, and you're going to hear more of it. You're going to hear the September economists talking about how their jobs are getting eliminated. You're going to hear more about layoffs. But what are the strategic moves that you can make based on all this intelligence that I've shared with you today? If you are in the AI space, I'm going to have a guest, hopefully on the channel on Thursday, who's in the AI space, and he's going to talk about how he got there and how you need to network in order for you to get opportunities. But if you are in the AI space, go ahead and start applying to some of the jobs that we talked about, the Netflix positions, the retail AI senior positions at Walmart, the Meta research positions. These companies are desperate for talent, even during our September stall speed. Your second move, position yourself for federal contractor cuts. So these 300,000 government workers with security clearances entering the job market, this is an opportunity for any of you who potentially could be getting cut. Start looking at some of these defensive contractors, these consulting companies, Deloitte and so forth, Microsoft. There is a whole bunch of small businesses out there, 183 billion in the United States, that are looking for people with contracts, or the government is looking for small business with contracts as well too. So you potentially could start your own business if you have a security clearance. Be the bridge for what companies want and what they need. I mean, you think about it. A lot of these workers, you can start up a business. A lot of these workers can start up their own business, or you can be a person that starts a business and have these people working for you, doing some of the work for the government. It's an opportunity. If you want to make some additional money, target small businesses where they're potentially looking to implement AI, but don't know how. They need implementation help. These are consulting opportunities. This is an opportunity for you to train them how to use it. This is the gap between people who are using the tools and people who aren't using the tools. If you are in the trades or you're looking to get into trades, or you're looking to make a career transition, focus on the infrastructure boom, the data center construction. There's a bunch of those going up, and it's just a start. The skilled trades is where the big opportunity is. HVAC technicians, they're making $150,000. They're all here in the United States. You may have to move, but that's just what you have to do. The fifth move that you can make is to bridge the skills between AI and businesses. The practical implementation of this stuff. This is how you can help Walmart. This is how you can help your current business. This is the reason why your current business is forcing you to use tools like AI, because they want to see how they can increase efficiency, but they also need people who can help train the people who aren't using it. So be that bridge. Those are basically, that's a strategy. That's the win for you all. I mean, you guys are caught up from Labor Day. I mean, you guys learned a lot this morning. I did too. I mean, this overnight intelligence that I shared with you this morning, Nestle fired their CEO for dating his employees. Guys, don't do it. Don't be dating people at work, especially if they work for you or work under your leadership. Ladies, men, both of you, don't do it. Doesn't make any sense. You're going to get caught. I don't care how well you think you're going to be able to hide it. Genital discipline is important. You also found out that 300,000 federal workers are going to be cut by Christmas. Tesla also eliminated 82 contractors, and that is an early warning for bigger layoffs to come. This is exactly how companies do it. They start first with the contractors, then they hit their employees. Netflix is paying $720,000 for AI engineers. There's a whole bunch of jobs that was posted overnight, also in our Patreon, of jobs that you can potentially apply for. If you're looking to make a move, consider joining the Patreon. The September hiring surge, it may be replaced by stall speed stagnation. But small businesses that's looking to adopt AI, that's where the opportunity is. Infrastructure, that boom, the massive demand is causing there to be a need for 439,000 workers. And many of these roles pay over six figures. So guys, join the Heights community, the Patreon. That's where I share exactly which overnight jobs to target, which companies are hiring, where others are cutting. I do Saturday live streams, webinars, talking about how to leverage AI for your small business, but also how to leverage AI to advance within your career. Also, it's community. Let's just get shit done. You want to be a part of it? Consider joining the Patreon. Guys, fantastic show today. Jason says, don't poop where you eat. Fatamo says, genital discipline is a great name for your channel. I like that. I like that. CBC Boxer says, views on crypto industry and learning about blockchain. We'll hit that on another segment, but I love blockchain. I think it's going to be huge, especially in the world of AI. But it's the second phase of the AI boom. It's not happening right now. It's the second phase where things gets really crazy on the software side. They're going to need tools like blockchain to authenticate things, make sure things are real. Because we're already seeing there's videos being created right now where you really think it's real and the shit ain't real. It's not real at all. So I think blockchain is going to be a big help for that. Art, supply chain, inventory, being able to understand the auditability of certain items. I think blockchain is going to be huge. but it's part 2 of the AI boom, in my opinion. Only Squares, good to see you, brother Jabron. Santos, good to see you. What industry has AI affected the most, Santos says? It's technology. Technology, big time. Technology has been decimated. Well, not crazy, but it has been bad. MJ Cannabis, good to see you. Jaquez, good to see you, sir. Jay Price, good to see you. Guys, go and have a good rest of your day. I appreciate you guys watching. Where do you see business intelligence in alliance with AI? Business intelligence is all part of it, right? Companies are looking to see how things, what business intelligence is ultimately data that companies need to make important business decisions. And with AI, I think companies are going to be able to execute a lot faster, because execution can happen a lot faster with AI. Optimization, efficiency. So on the BI side, as long as the intelligence can be captured and viewed, it goes hand in hand. But also for somebody who's in business intelligence, you think about how a lot of that could be automated too, with fresh agents, and a lot of the dashboards and stuff like that can be refreshed with agents and created now. So it might be a good opportunity for somebody who's in business intelligence to start thinking about, working with small businesses, but also enhancing their skills, because a lot of these tools can do and create the business intelligence that you're creating, especially if you're using basic reporting tools like Excel and, Google Analytics and stuff like that, right? Like all that stuff could be automated. It's coming. So start to think about transitioning into how you can help businesses leverage that, or learn how to create agents so that you can help businesses implement that sort of stuff. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for Tamos. Thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. Guys, go and have a good rest of your day. It is Monday, 8:01. Got you guys out of here on time. Wasn't as long-winded today. Enjoy the rest of your day. We will see you tomorrow. Until next time, guys. Peace.